had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Pushing the 6-4, throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent.
I got this feeling in my veins. I can tell all about where I came from. Claimed one side of town and it'll stay one. Yes, a great one. A section of Denver, lo corrado. The west side, familio, so oeste lado. Step on the turf, get ready to play the game that goes back generations. Santa Fe to Calumet, Colfax, Sheridan, and Broadway is a location. And I don't care what you say, this shit runs south to Mississippi. I got a whole hood from the lower west side and trust a bunch of OG motherfuckers with me. What you know about Barnum and Bonds, Columbine Steakhouse, and Valverde? What you know about the Osline, the 14th Ave West High down to the 3rd? What you know about bungalows, Columbine projects, sunken gardens? I know about some valleys, Decatur's, and the Avondale apartments. What you think the WNDA really stands for? I'm on the west side, raised and lived, grown into a land war. And even though the north, the east, and the south got my back, gotta give them all the history, all the things that done, that's gonna put the dub on the map. What up, West?
West side connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Pushing the 6-4, throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent.
I got this feeling in my veins. I can tell all about where I came from. Claimed one side of town and it'll stay one. Yes, a great one. A section of Denver, lo corrado. The west side, familio, so oeste lado. Step on the turf, get ready to play the game that goes back generations. Santa Fe to Calumet, Colfax, Sheridan, and Broadway is a location. And I don't care what you say, this shit runs south to Mississippi. I got a whole hood from the lower west side and trust a bunch of OG motherfuckers with me. What you know about Barnum and Bonds, Columbine Steakhouse, and Valverde? What you know about the Osline, the 14th Ave West High down to the 3rd? What you know about bungalows, Columbine projects, sunken gardens? I know about some valleys, Decatur's, and the Avondale apartments. What you think the WNDA really stands for? I'm on the west side, raised and lived, grown into a land war. And even though the north, the east, and the south got my back, gotta give them all the history, all the things that done, that's gonna put the dub on the map. What up, West?
West side connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Pushing the 6-4, throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side.
Representing that dub, nigga. Yeah, killer.
I'm Denver till they body me, a Coed till they carry me. I'm west to the death, and them pallbearers bury me. Niggas ain't scaring me, I'm a shot, let it wear me. I'm about what you bout, boy, rep the turf for territory. Burby on my waistline, you know I'm down to ride. And if they hating on the fuck them niggas from the other side. Say show I'm down for mine, and drama ain't a thing to us. Really ain't a thing to bust. Homie, can you hang with us? Show us the holster. You down to bang with us? Side to statewide. Know that we get dangerous. Younger Jesus on the scene, earning stripes, hitting licks. Dope boys checking up, getting looted, chopping bread. Real niggas in the mix, so what's up in a battleground? Predominantly black and brown, and know that we ain't backing down. Love for my realest riders, north to the east side. Catch me on your turf, shucking dubs out of cheap rides. West up, nigga.
Connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Pushing the 6-4, throwing up west side, man.
West side is what I represent.
Yeah, I'm from the hood where they used to bang the G's and B's. West side got a gang of homes look up to me. We rep the turf, it's real, borrowing banging avenues. 5 murders a week, ain't never made the fucking news. The soil stained from all this bloodshed. Yeah, this where I lay my fucking head. But we all respect the fact this West I love. 7 deep around the cutlass bar, we throw no gloves. Tear down our buildings, now they trying to kill our pride. Bitches still West boys west side. Truth the fact that we all living hard. My section where I'm at, the Bloods bang Martinez Park. West side, 7th Avenue, what it do, folks? Shout out to my nutties, they my fam and that ain't no joke. Shout out Westwood, number love for y'all. West side, United we stand, but the bottom we fall.
West side connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Passing the 6-4 throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent.
Hope you get the chills every time that you hear this shit. Everybody knows Westside niggas are the craziest. I rep this shit since a kid. You know how I do, bro. Move to the buyers from 2nd and Galapagos. From a boy to a man. Wasn't too bad with these hands. The West is in my jeans. Go back to them boys on the pan. Was born at DG just like the rest of my peeps. Was the first kid in line for free lunch down at Daily. I know you're hearing this, fearing this. Make these niggas shiver. Handing out ass whippings, you the taker, I'm the giver. Black River, you don't float, nope, not even sink. I'm down with the buyers and my riders, they don't think. Catch me rolling through the west side, heat up on my waistline, hitting motherfuckers up every time I pass by. Buyers Hood is my home, the park bench is my throne. Take a trip to my west side, you might not find your ass home, nigga.
West side connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Passing the 6-4 throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent.
Yeah, we be mobbing, truck be knocking while we gripping grain. Hey, in the lanes, west we hella pass. Stands for 7B, the avenue that I ride, folks. Turn up in the cutty with the side hoe. S-I-D-E. Fuck you, pay me. It's never all gravy. On these West Denver streets. From Santa Fe to Sheridan, Kentucky, down to Colfax. You can end up like Bernie Lomax. Fuck around out by them train tracks. From my team just parked to Rudy Santa. Motherfuckers be about that legal tender. Sipping up on that lick, keeping your Benz a thin offender. You can tell where I'm from by my walk and my fitted cap. Done been there, done seen that, and the motherfucker still living that. I'll be your tour guide, lace your kicks and walk with me. Take a shot with me, I still got some pop in me. I represent and I rep it well. At times it could be a living hell. West them up to my peeps in jail, especially the ones without no bell. West.
West side connection, been had it locked, bitch. West side, west side, west side. West side.
West side is what I represent. Come down to my town like Mariah, I carry.
Passing the 6-4 throwing up west side, man. I'm from the west side. West side.
West side is what I represent.
Bitch, I got pile on that bitch. Connie, Con, Junior, Bill. Yeah. Coast. Hey, free Juve, man. No free Big Duke, man. Free my motherfucking daddy, man. Free PT, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Free all my real niggas out the chain game, man. You know, we screaming fuck 12 in a bed spring, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't let shit hold up back, nigga. You know, this shit straight out the head with acapella in the joint, nigga. I put this on everything. I'm screaming fuck 12 in a bed spring. Fuck about taking no rent. I'm chasing the check. I sleep when I'm dead, man. I'm so like the head, man. I just met a new bitch with some head gang. She said she know yo. I'm trying to fold her like a spaghetti screen. Remember the old day, that sound with B shit, but on bigger now. Remember the and jump on the interstate and shoot a little text message like I made it out. I met my nigga Boogie. I can't forget about him. He got 35. I'm swinging parole day. Like they need to free my dog fire, break him out. Playing with the profit. Turn them upside down, shake them out. Make believe niggas. I never thought it was so many fakes. Gotta pray for these niggas. I never thought it was so many haters. And screw me for the God. I need a favor. I'm like straight up. If I ever go to sleep, hating on a nigga, and don't let me wake up. It's a lot of shit about these fake ass rappers. I don't know where to start with them. They be screaming fuck 12 in the song. Be right in the car with them. But you a hard nigga. It ain't your fault. No, it ain't your fault. Your granddaddy died from telling your mom ain't shit and your daddy was soft. And your uncle know was just a bitch. And both of your brother was flawed. And your little sister ate me up, by the way. And I came in no more. I know they don't like this. I come out the head the same way I write shit. You know I fight quick. But I keep that strap like a
What up? Yeah, I know you guys couldn't hear me. I had myself muted. I was just thinking about something. I was like, that's dumb. Something StreamYard did. I just realized something. I was like, what the fuck is that? I don't know about StreamYard, my homie. I know about to get blazed, though. What y'all doing? We're here to make some official accusations against a YouTuber that remains unnamed. Allegations of the sexual variety. He's aggressive. He's sexually aggressive behind the scenes. This is why I'm sure people have heard me talk several times about how I don't like to talk behind the scenes, and I don't like to connect with people behind the scenes. That's because some of these YouTubers are sexually aggressive, bro. You know, and I dealt with that a lot in prison, and now it's like, damn, I got to deal with it out here too. You know, come to YouTube. Am I the only person in the chat? Nah, Spencer's burner CPI phone is here too. You could jump up if you want, Wesley. I'm not talking about nothing. I'm just on here bullshitting. This is my new schedule. Eventually, I will start making lives about something, but it looks like this is going to be my new schedule as I'm working mornings. They like me in the mornings. They want me to... I'm really good at prep. I'm really fast at prep. So they're going to... If anybody's really if anybody thought I was going to come on here and actually abuse plug of Grape, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. I was just joking. But I just thought it was a funny title. BK's here. I got a little bit of weed right here from the homegirl. I'm going to blaze up. I need to go get some more weed tomorrow. I got to go to the dispensary. I was hoping Conrad would be on. I know it's kind of late, though. The homie be working. I ain't mad at him. But it looks like my new schedule is in the morning. They like me to go in there and... Like I said, I'm really fast at prep, and I can, I can knock everything out. I can knock everything out and still get the food done. And he said, he's like, I feel comfortable with you there. He's like, I actually believe I can leave you by yourself. He said, and most of these kids that I hire these days, I can't leave by themselves. Barry Wood is sexually aggressive. Hell no. I'm just saying. It's like, behind the scenes, dog, you give these dudes your number, you know what I mean? You connect on IG, it's like, nah, bro, I don't even got an IG. I didn't even ask for all them dick pics. Plug? Like, what the fuck? You know? It's like everywhere I go, dog, it's like my phone's full of dick pics. And like half of them are Plug. Some of them are Barry Wood. Let's see. Let's roll a nice fatty here. Some are Barry Wood. Some are some of Weevy's homies in West Virginia. They just send them randomly. They don't even ask for nothing. They're not too bright out there. Frank, what up, though? Oh, I'm just bullshitting tonight. If anybody want to come up and chill, please. Come keep me company. I'm just here. I'm going to put the thing in the chat. I ain't doing nothing, homie. I got off work. I went to this girl. I came and got my dog, and then I went to this girl's house for a couple hours, and we hung out and just chilled. It's nice that, okay, so the last girl I was seeing was, not a hoarder. A hoarder would be wrong. She's nowhere near a hoarder. But I just didn't like it in her house. So let's just put it that way. let's say I'm kind of a fucking weirdo from being in prison too long, and there's a lot of women that I don't like. There's a lot of people that I don't like being in their house. If it's not, and I'm not a neat freak. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not saying like I'm not some anal retentive fucking weirdo. My house is normal. It looks lived in. There's shit all over the place. You know what I mean? There's a bowl of dog food and some other shit. So I'm not a weirdo, but if you got so much shit all over your house that like if I drop something, I can't even find nothing, dude. You know what I mean? It's like there's like panties and fucking earrings and makeup everywhere. And then there's like a thin layer of makeup all over everything from whenever she gets ready. You know what I mean? And she like touches fucking everything. She touches the inside of her car. The inside of her car has a film. It's a layer of fucking paint, right? That is the color of her foundation. And so the entire interior of the car, and especially all the controls and everything up here where she's doing her makeup, it's like the whole steering wheel is like a beige-ish color, like a light beige. And that shit don't come off, man. You got to get that shit like professionally clean. I don't know, I'm rambling. The point is, this new girl I've been checking out got like a normal house where we could go kick back. And it's not even close to as nice. Like the other one's house was way nicer. But this one, well, the house was way nicer. This one lives like in the ghetto, but it's like, it's clean. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a mattress on the floor, but if we could chill, fuck. You know what I mean? I just want to chill, dog. Can I fucking chill inside? It's like, I don't know. I'm a weirdo, dog. Too much time in prison. Too much time in solitary. What up? Frank? Big Frank, what's up, my homie? I see you still battling with YouTube, homie, going to war. I'm sorry that you're going through it, mommy. Frank, man, Frank just attracts the wrong type of fucking channels. I don't know why. Who's this? BK? I don't know who this is, but I'll take it. Fuck it. Let's see what you got. Who's that? Is that the Canadian? Let's see what you got. What's up, brother? Oh, can you? I don't. Jeez. My fucking headphones, my headphones ain't even turned in. Y'all just let me fucking sit here without my headphones turned in? Look it. There's no plug, dog. Hold on. So we don't end up with a, so we don't get an echo here. Hold on. Y'all was letting me slip, fall, and die, homie. Bam. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here, let me put you on a normal something that looks more appropriate. There you go. How you doing, brother?
Yo, I gotta admit, something's going on with the volume. Can you hear me good?
Mm-hmm. Yep. How about me?
You're scratchy.
Scratchy?
Yeah.
Am I loud? Can you hear me? Let's see. I got the microphone right here. Let's make sure we're on the right microphone.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. You sound perfect. And this is a decent microphone. It's not an amazing one, but it's good enough.
I don't know. It might be my phone. It could just be my phone.
Yo, you sound fine. You're an appropriate sound. Let's see. Output device, speakers, Realtek audio. Or I can go with this guy too.
Ask the chat how you're sounding. To me, like you're scratchy.
That's true. I sound scratchy over there. How do I sound in the Spencer's iPhone says I sound good. So
okay, so let me leave and come back.
Do you have a quality speaker, or is it a cheap, like a tinny speaker?
No, it's a phone, but it's a good phone.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a connection problem. Let me leave and come back.
Yes, sir. iPhone. Yeah, he says I sound good. I don't do much. Like, I don't ever mess with the microphones. This thing pretty much just stays plugged in. And then I don't even do, you know what I mean? I just fucking go live. And I never even, I never even unplug it.
Doing the exact same thing.
What does it sound like? Yeah,
It just
because
sounds
like I
like-
said, I don't do much to my microphone. Turn your phone sideways. Yeah, but that ain't gonna affect the sound though. How was them boomers? You know, I don't take mushrooms anymore. I took a picture of them because I went to that girl's house and she had a bag of them. But the solitary confinement kind of did a number on me, dog. And I get into a bad headspace when I take psychedelics, and it's not good. I've had too many. The last like 3 or 4 trips have been bad, so I just kind of stopped. I did have a good experience with Molly a couple years ago. We did some Molly on New Year's Eve, and that was a positive experience. So maybe I could take some mushrooms again, but I haven't in many years. I just took those pictures because I thought they were really cool. I got some up close. Well, here, let me pull it up while I'm sitting here talking about it, right? I got some really cool pictures the other day. Hell no. Hey, so my homeboy posted this thing and I put it on my community page. Check this out. Here, we're gonna. All right. We're gonna pull this up. Hold on. And then we're gonna pull up one of the comments. This is classic, homie. So the homeboy says, here, we'll pull up his little thing. My homeboy posts this, and I said, I gotta post this. I said, I gotta post this and show everybody this because I think it's funny as hell. And this is a gang channel. It's a channel about gangs. Okay. Little kids can be gay at 12, but whenever I was trying to be a Sereno at 13, it was the biggest problem ever. Right? Fair enough, right? You could do all kinds of weird shit now, but, you know, nobody wanted gangbanging. And then, this is no disrespect to anybody, but this is funny, homie. El Chefe says, being gay and being a Sereno is the same thing, homie. No disrespect to the homies, but that's funny. All right, let's see what these mushrooms is. Oh. I think I went out. There we go. That is the up close of a mushroom. The texture. That's could you imagine getting in there with a really fucking fine camera? All those little peaks and valleys and shit. You know what I mean?
Was that what you posted on your community earlier?
I can't even hear. What the fuck am I doing? Oh. I'm in the I can hear, but I'm on the wrong audio. Let's see. Say something again, brother.
Well, was that what you put on your community earlier?
This is a couple days old. Those shrooms, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. No, these the the texture of them and shit. And honestly, I got an iPhone 10, which isn't a good iPhone at all, especially not camera. It doesn't even have the good camera on it. And I know there's a difference. There's a huge difference because I have the new iPad that does have the good camera on it, and that motherfucker's hard.
Did you know no mushroom is actually good for you unless they're cooked?
I don't know much. No. What?
Even a portobello mushroom needs to be cooked for you to eat it.
So you shouldn't be eating any of them just off the ground, basically?
Yeah.
Without, not all of them will kill you, just some of them will kill you, but a bunch of them will like...
No, yeah. But none of them are actually really good for you unless you cook all the toxins out of it.
Okay. I hate mushrooms. I think they're fucking gross. I do like these things. Well, I'll eat them on...
When you're at the cottage?
No, I'll eat them on a pizza, and I will eat them I will make sauce with them. There's plenty of sauces that I'll make with mushroom, but I don't actually eat the mushrooms. But I can make some cold sauces, because mushrooms, they got something in them. this fucking, I don't know what it is, starch or something that comes out of them that just makes an amazing sauce. And you can't.
What about risotto?
What about it? I did a risotto bar about a month
Mushroom.
ago.
Well, the most famous is mushroom risotto.
Yeah, no, I don't. I did a mushroom or a risotto bar about 3 weeks ago, at a person's wedding. It was a fucking hit, dude. That I sold out of everything I had. Not sold out. I mean, it's not for sale, right? We're giving it away. But there was a line up there. There was a line at my desk the entire fucking time. I was making risotto from the time I set up to the time I left. I was making it to order, whatever they wanted, and I had all the toppings out in front of them, and they could choose their toppings. And it was a fucking hit, dude. And I got a $100 tip.
Yo, because risotto is a skill to make, bro. Yo, risotto is not easy to make.
Yeah, you're right. You know how to make it? I know how to make it.
No, I got to be honest. I'm Italian.
Me too.
And I haven't yet mastered it. I know how to make it. I haven't mastered it.
Yeah. You can't make it every time. You can't hit it every time.
No.
What do you
I don't think I've hit it once.
What do you struggle with? The whipping or what?
It's the simmering. It's to make it creamy and the rice cooked all at the same time.
Or you're whipping it with a paddle, right?
Wooden spoon.
And you're beating it, and it's not getting the consistency that you want, or what?
Yes, it's just not getting the consistency. Well, when it does, the rice is still hard, and then when the rice isn't hard, it's not the consistency.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, you're having trouble converging the two.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think about that. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. And I have to. I don't want to. I want to think about it, because if I think about it, I'll be able to give you the answer in a couple sentences. If I do it here, I'll fucking ramble on all over the place and probably.
It is actually a skill to you got to be actually talented to cook a good risotto. Like, it's not. I don't mean a store fucking bought risotto.
Yeah.
I mean, you make your own mushroom sauce. You cook your own rice and you mix it together, and then you have to put a little bit in at a time, right?
A little bit of what? Cream, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, and water, and then you let it soak up the moisture, and then you got to add a little more, and then you got to keep stirring. It's a constant stir.
It's not stir though.
Okay,
stir.
Okay,
you understand what you're doing whenever you're doing that.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Whipping it.
What are you doing? What is it doing? What's the process? There's a chemical process is happening. What is happening?
Okay, I don't know the chemical process.
Okay, so you need to know that what is happening, because then you'll understand what you're doing. What you're doing is you are beating the starch out of the rice. The starch is what bleeds out of the rice. Whenever it bleeds out, it creates the sauce. This is what creates the sauce. So that's what you're doing with the paddle. You're not stirring. There's no stirring involved. You're keeping it moving so it doesn't burn, but you're trying to beat the rice as much as possible but you got to keep it at that temperature. You don't want to let it burn. You got to keep it moving, and you're beating it to get the flour out. And that's what creates it, the consistency that you want. You beat it until you get the consistency you want.
And do you also toast your rice first?
We do toast.
You got to toast the rice first, right?
Is that for flavor? No.
Yes.
Yeah, because you boil it, right? You par cook it.
No, before it touches water. Before it even touches water, you put it in a hot.
I never did it there. They would bring it to me on the line, because I ran the burners, so I only really did one step of it. And then I run the bar. I do the bar too.
Okay, so at the beginning you're supposed to toast the rice, right?
Okay.
So you put it in a hot pan.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to toast the rice
in the oven.
No, in the frying pan.
Oh, you can do that too, yeah.
in garlic, right? In garlic, basically garlic butter.
Yeah.
You toast the rice, but very, very gently and for very, very little.
Yeah, I can see that because you would want to open up that flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
can
so
see
I
that.
have a problem mixing it all together. I'm not a chef, by the way. I'm a home cook. I'm a home cook.
Yeah. I don't
But
have
I
any.
love
I don't have
the-
any formal training, but
I love to cook.
I've been around though, and I worked at a country club at fine dining for a couple years. Let's see. Oh. They got those crazy ones now. The Ape 1 grams is like 3 grams of golden teachers. Jesus. Hey, homie, it's wild these days. Some of the drugs they're coming up with. I swear to God, that Molly that the homeboy had was fucking ridiculous. Like, not even... The Molly that he had was like... I bet you I did a point at the most. 10 cents.
So is Molly MDMA?
Yes. Pure.
Okay.
Pure. Not pressed into pills, just powder form. But not really powder because it's more chunk. More closer to, I don't know. Closer in consistency to speed almost, but not quite. Not quite, and a lot more opaque. You can't really see through it. But crystalline. It does look crystalline, but just not the same consistency. But the little bit we did, I mean, was like taking like 5 pills. I mean, I used to get jars of pills. I was never a big dealer of pills, but I'd get a couple jars here and there. You know what I mean? And go to raves. I went to caffeine. I went to caffeine a couple times. I would go to these festivals and shit. And just sell some stuff, and you make your money back the first night, and then you still got a handful of pills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was when they were probably what, $3 a pill.
I think I was.
Now
paying
they're
about
fucking $8.
No, I was paying about 8 back then. This is like 2000. This is whenever they very first hit Denver. I was selling them for 12. Mile High, what up? If you want to jump up, jump up.
Fuck, that's crazy. Well, I don't know how pure yours were and how pure mine were.
Yeah.
But I was getting them for $2 a pill.
Nice.
And we were selling them for $5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And fuck,
That's
man,
a good hit. I've never got them for $2 a pill. I can't ever say I ever got that price.
But then maybe that's why you were calling it Molly and I was calling it MDMA.
We're talking about 2 different situations. Whenever I'm talking about pills, I used to buy Green Naked Ladies back in 2007 and go back whenever I actually went to parties and shit like that. I would do that when I was a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer anymore. A couple years ago, my homeboy invited me to his house for New Year's Eve and busted out some Molly. Busted out a whole box of drugs and said, hey, what do you want to do? And he said, this Molly's off the fucking chain. So I did a little bit with him. And the little bit that we did, the little powder, 2 lines, I would say 2 small little lines, was the equivalent of about 4 or 5 ecstasy pills.
So,
You know what I mean?
did you just said you did them in lines, right?
Yeah, a couple bumps.
So you would snort them?
Molly?
Yeah, because ours just came in capsules and you just swallow it.
Nah, this is it's crystalline. You know, it's a crystal structure that breaks down.
Yeah, ours
like
were in
cocaine.
capsules. Ours
Yeah.
were in like little capsules.
No, we're getting it raw. We get it raw, like off a brick.
So ours was probably.
I don't know.
Ours was probably mixed. Well, I
don't know, but I know what I did a couple years back, like 2 years ago, was wildly better than any of the pills I had ever done. And it was just a little tiny amount and cleaner and much cleaner. I almost died that's the only time I've almost killed myself is I almost died. I took 12 pills in maybe a 72-hour period, but that's not what really got me. What really got me was I took those pills, but I had also gotten 100 Valium, I had gotten 100 Valium from these people, and I didn't know much about Valium, and I got them for nothing. I think I got them for like $30, the whole pill or the whole bottle, but they were little ones. They were just a 1 milligram, just the little guys. And I didn't know much about them, so I took a couple right away, and it was like, yeah, whatever, not a big deal. And then the next day, I was kind of feeling like shit, so I took like 3 or 4. I was like, well, I kind of want to feel it this time, so I took 3 or 4, and then I went and partied. I went to a fucking rave, took a bunch of pills, went to this girl's house, went to sleep all night, woke up the next morning, took some more fucking pills, and then I went to the homeboy's house, and he was like, hey, homie, you want an Oxy? And or a Percocet. It was a 10 milligram Percocet. And I said, yeah, give me that motherfucker.
Yeah, sure, might as well.
It was Blue Dolphins. It was Blue Dolphins. Jay Millie, it was Blue Dolphins and Green Naked Ladies. I bought three jars. And so then I took a 10 milligram Percocet, and I said, yeah, I'll mix them with a couple of these. And I took another handful of Valium. And all of these pills that I'm talking about are over like a 5-day period. And whenever I took that, I went into a whiteout. And I was selling crack. I was running around selling crack, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I bought some red leather couches, some bright-ass fucking red leather couches that were super ugly from my homeboy. He thought they were cool. Like, I don't feel like he burned me because he thought they were cool.
No,
I
you
would have
both
never
thought they
bought
were
them.
cool. You
I
thought
would
they
have
were
never
going to be
bought them.
flashy.
Yeah, they were ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, ugly.
Now
ugly.
that you think of it.
Yeah. As soon as I woke up, I was like, what is going on? And I lost out. I made some stupid deals, clearly, because, okay, when I was buying 2 zips of crack at the time. When I had almost a full re-up, I was basically pushing that every day. I had two zips of crack when I started this bullshit. And when I woke up, I had when I snapped 2, I had $700, like 4 or 5 grams, and these fucking couches. And that's not 2 ounces. If anybody's ever sold dope, that's not.
Yeah, no, that's not even close.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near.
Yeah. Conrad, what's up, my homie? Where'd you go?
What's up, brother? What's going on? Sorry, I had to get off the cam real quick. You know.
You got self-conscious about that mustache?
Yeah, I'm going for that Magnum PI look. You know.
Yeah.
No, I gotta shave that shit. I gotta let my shit grow out, else I get like the brothers. I get the buckshot. I'll get buckshot.
Do you? So
yeah.
What? It's like one or the other. What have you?
Yeah, I just got real coarse hair. It'll grow back. It'll ingrow. So I gotta let it grow out before I can hit it.
I see what you mean. I'm having a problem right now. You know the hairs that come out right here? I can't stand them.
I hate those.
I can't stand them, homie, and I rip them out. But whenever you rip them out by the root, they get ingrown. And so then whenever they get ingrown, you'll get a little ingrown hair in there, and then I start fucking with it. And I fucked with it so much that my whole nose is full of like a huge scab that hurts like a motherfucker.
That shit fucking sucks.
Yeah, dog, that shit hurts.
Yo, do your, the older you get, the more you gotta fucking trim your ears?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, yo, I just trimmed those motherfuckers the other day.
A couple, you gotta run a razor over them every couple days, pretty much.
Well, I got this attachment, right? And I use it, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good for I should be good for 3 months. No.
3 months?
No, well, that's what I'm thinking, right?
No.
Because I never ever remembered having to cut those.
Homie, I gotta shave mine twice a week, dog. I gotta shave my ears twice a week.
Okay, well, I go in every 3 weeks.
I thought you said you was Italian, homie. What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm the least hairiest Italian you've ever met. I'm from the north.
He said I'm from the north.
Hey, homie, I slept with this Italian woman. God, she was so hairy, dog. She was so hairy. All back here, too. All down her back. All the way down the
She's from the South. She has to be from the South.
She had the 70s style porn bush or what?
No, it wasn't that. It was everything else. It was her whole body. She kept there was no bush. She kept it clean. It was everything else was covered in dark black hair.
Yeah, see, she's from the south.
Her
Like,
butt,
look.
butt
These are
cheeks,
my
everything.
arms. These are my arms. I've never shaved my arms in my life.
Man,
Yeah, I can't be fucking with that 70s style porn bush, homie.
yeah. Jay Millie, what up?
Tell
Jugga
Jay
Choice.
Millie to get up here. I love Jay Millie.
Jay Millie likes the hundo.
I love Jay Millie. He's a good guy.
Jay Millie's the homie. Here, where's my fucking thing? My thing ain't going right. There we go.
His 49ers got stomped though.
Hey, that's all right though. We're in the game, homie. We'll be there whenever the Super Bowl comes around.
Oh, you're Niner. You're gang Niner too. Wearing an Eagles jersey?
I wear all jerseys. I like jerseys. Period. I like them all. And I like. I don't really give a fuck about hockey, but that's not really a sport. You know what I mean? It's not really.
You see what Canada did to Latvia today?
Who? No, nobody did because nobody watches that shit.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, us Canadians, us Canadians, fucking dude.
Jump up if you want, Jay Millie.
I know you guys don't watch the juniors, do you guys? Yo, Boxing Day juniors for us Canadians, is huge. So when Boxing Day starts, we know the Junior World Championship starts.
Oh, you mean you guys be boxing a lot? That's big in Canada. That's what you're saying?
No,
Boxing?
no, Boxing Day. Boxing Day, the World Junior Hockey Tournament starts.
And it's called Boxing Day?
On Boxing Day.
That's like their national pastime, homie. Is hockey's their national pastime?
Yeah, but on Boxing Day, the tournament starts.
What's Boxing Day? What's the date?
The day
It's
after
the
Christmas.
junior national championships. That's when they
No, the
start
day
their.
after Christmas. You guys don't have Boxing Day?
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so
we
the
watch
day...
the Avs, brother. That's it. If we don't Avs. That's it.
Really?
Avs.
Okay, so the day after Christmas.
Yeah, that's called the return day. We return.
Oh,
shit.
for us, it's called Boxing Day.
Why?
Because I don't know. To be honest, I do not know. But the day after Christmas is called Boxing Day in Canada, and it's like your guys' Black Friday.
Okay. Oh, you guys go shop.
Yes, everybody goes shopping the day after Christmas. It's
Because
called
everything's
Boxing Day.
and they go take advantage of all the sales.
Yes, even
Okay.
though they're not actually sales, but
We do that, but it's not called anything. It's just Christmas is over.
oh, so ours is called Boxing Day. I actually get a national holiday from my work for it.
Shit. That's
After
cool.
Christmas is the day you could take
The
anything
very
back
next
without
day,
a
so-
receipt.
Yeah, so December 26th is called Boxing Day.
Canadian history shit. Krup's on it.
Well,
Yeah.
here in the States, you could take that shit back without a receipt and get full cash.
Shit.
Just
I
because
seen
it's
him-
Christmas.
I
You
seen-
know that shit happens in the States? Are you serious?
What?
Holy, I thought that was everywhere.
I never even heard of that shit. I thought you were talking about boxing.
That's why
That's
you
why I was-
were tripping
I was
me
like,
out.
you're
You're like,
talking
what?
about
You guys like to box on that day? I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
That was a good one. What's up, comrade? You're quiet tonight, homie. What's
Shit,
good?
nothing. Just chilling, brother. I'm about to hit the rack here in a minute. I'm up
Yeah,
a little late.
I
So it's cool.
didn't think you'd be up this late. Otherwise, I would have texted you and said, "Hey, I'm going live."
I'm on call, so I kind of stay up in case the phone rings. You know what I mean? I have to answer it. So
Yeah.
hopefully it don't ring.
Let's see. What's
Nah.
this? What's this?
Shit, they're gonna pay. They give me a $500 bonus just for New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did last
for
year.
working for working that
Yeah.
day. You mean?
Yeah, just for that day, $500.
I got a decent bonus the other day. I haven't seen what it is, but I noticed that my check was kind of beefy.
You got a new job, huh?
I did. I'm working 2 now. Yeah, I actually got. This will be the first time I get 2 checks. That's
Nice.
gonna be nice.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
What are you doing at your new job? Just the same thing, culinary?
I work. I'm a pizza chef.
Oh, you did. You got the pizza job.
Yeah, all they do is pizza. That's it. Pizza, a couple sandwiches, a little calzone, some salad.
Where's it at?
The north side, the Highlands.
Where at?
30.
Second and low.
Pecos.
Pecos. Okay.
Yep. Right, looking on the hill, the bridge. You know where the bridge goes into downtown now?
Okay.
Right by there. You know where?
Okay.
You know where the north side ends, right there, and you
Yeah.
look out and you see where downtown opens up, and you can see all the downtown. It's literally that building, that fucking building. You could sit in our lobby and you could just see all the downtown just from the tip of the north side. You're just sitting on the edge of the north side.
Yeah. Is that where they have all those different restaurants
Yep.
in that one building?
Yep. Exactly.
Got you.
Exactly.
They got a bar. Yeah,
Yep.
that place is dope, dog. That place is dope.
Yep.
I've been there.
So
Levante or something like that. Levante or some shit like that.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's so small, there's so many restaurants inside of it that it all like shares the same thing, and they pay good because there's not room to have bullshit. You need people who are good. You know what I mean?
And so you could work in a small spot and get off.
We only have 4 employees. We run a pizza restaurant with 4 employees.
Nice.
There's the boss and 3 employees, and that's the whole fucking schedule is us, 4 people. So everybody's got to be good. They understand that, and so they pay well. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It's
Right on,
21 plus tips
Oh shit, you can't beat that.
in the north side. In the
Nice.
highlights?
No, that place pops, bro. On the weekend, it gets busy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I would even say Wednesday, bro. That place is always popping when I drive by there.
Hey, them white folks be tipping on me. They got bread.
Oh yeah.
They got bread. I don't know what they be doing, but them motherfuckers got money.
No, they all live right there. You know, it costs.
I know, but what could they all do? Where's all this? What do they do? Are they all in the fucking tech sector?
IPs, like they're in the tech industry. I promise you.
That's what it is.
Cyber security dudes. There's a lot of insurance businesses down there. There's all kinds of shit, bro.
Oh yeah, insurance agents. And
That's
shit.
yuppie central right there, homie. That whole like spot. That's all that just chill. They just chill there. That's their fun.
Hey, homie, there's something else. They think Joe Biden's cool. These motherfuckers. Hey, homie, they was talking about it the other day.
That's because their pockets ain't hurting, homie. That's because they got money, long money like that. You know what I mean?
These motherfuckers is wild.
They ain't missing it.
Real talk. That was the first time I had heard somebody actually a real person genuinely speak good about Joe Biden. Like she didn't have nothing bad to say. It was just like, oh yeah, da, 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 da. And it's like that's just
that dude is. I'm sorry, bro.
I don't understand. Know, I don't even think she's a bad person. I don't think she's lying. I don't think no. I think that they're insulated in a world and isolated from. She also likes Saturday Night Live. She was talking about a Saturday Night Live skit, and I'm thinking, these are the people that actually watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Right? That shit's not funny. Saturday Night Live ain't been funny in over a decade. Well over a decade, homie. It ain't been fucking funny. Occasionally, they'll get somebody on there who's entertaining, who can do something, but overwhelmingly, the show is garbage. And it's been garbage for a long time. And she was like, she was talking about a skit, and I was like, Jesus, this is the people that watch this shit. And then she started talking about Biden, and I was like, wow, these are the people.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
What do
I see it on my job all the time. I don't even say nothing, bro. I just.
What do they think about me? I don't know. What do they think? And that's what's weird is because like, I understand what some Mexican dude thinks about me, right? Some Mexican dude, like some dude from Mexico, maybe he's an immigrant. And I'm like, yeah, I voted for Trump. And he's like, fuck this dude, right? I can understand that. That makes sense to me, right? But those people are like these I don't know, I guess I'll say liberals or whatever, white liberals or whatever. It's like, they look just like me. You look just like me. But we have
I just don't understand with the concept how you could say this dude honestly has any kind of good intention for this country, bro. It's crazy to me. It's like help everybody else and basically screw the working man. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's like we're basically pay taxes so we could take care of the rest of the world.
What do you
That's
mean?
insane, bro. We pay taxes so we can take care of the
like,
rest of the world's problems.
But you know that like we're not doing that. We're like, okay, all you.
Brother, when you send money like you do to Ukraine, and it's a losing war, bro. Ukraine gonna lose that war, dog.
Listen to me, dog. Listen to me. Ukraine is running up a debt.
Yes,
okay?
to the central banks.
Yes. No. They have a lend lease. What is called a lend lease. This is what we're doing. We let them run up a debt. We're selling them all of our old equipment and building new stuff. So Ukraine's in the middle of paying for us for a new military.
But we also feed both sides of the war.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that, though. Let's focus on this. We're talking about one thing. They're running up a debt. That's a ledger. We're not just giving them money. This is a ledger. Okay? We are not in a hot conflict, and we are putting the screws to our enemy without losing an American life.
Every dollar is given with interest.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they can't pay it back.
Well, we're guessing that we can. We're trying to collapse the Russian economy like we did in '89.
Russia's fine, bro. Russia ain't.
Russia is not fine. Russia is not fine. That is not true.
If Russia was fine, they wouldn't have been so upset
Russia,
about the entire situation.
Russia's demographics are dwindling. Russia has no technocrats. Russia's education system has collapsed from the inside. 30 years ago, it collapsed from the inside. So they have these people at the top that are 60 and 70 years old that are actually, this is an argument that Peter Zeihan makes. He says they have the full suite of tools. They could actually run engineering, politics. They understand complicated things, how complicated governments work. There's all the people who are 30, 20, 30, 40 years old. They're mechanics, electricians. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but these are not people that can do high-level jobs. They can't create chips. They can't create computers. A mechanic can't create a car, right? He can fix one. He can turn a wrench on one, but he can't create one for you, okay? They are now in the middle of all of the shit that they can't replace falling apart. These Boeings, they can't fly them anymore. Nobody will give them the parts. Nobody will work on them. Their semiconductors were made completely by Taiwan. They have no ability to make semiconductors anymore. Russia is falling apart from the inside, and we're betting on this. We're betting that we can keep sending money to Ukraine and keep Russia pot committed, because that's what's happening right now. Russia is pot committed. It can't back out. Back out. Putin's gone. Putin goes to jail
you honestly
forever.
believe that Ukraine could win this war, basically?
No, I believe we can collapse Russia from the inside.
It's not meant to be won. The war is not meant to be won.
We don't want that. We don't want it to be
sustained.
Won. Exactly. The longer we can sustain it, the more we can destroy the Russian economy.
Yes.
Exactly.
The longer they have to put financial, the more they financially go in debt because of the war, right? We don't want them to win it.
Our economy's collapsing as well, my friend.
Yeah, I agree. We are not doing as well.
The U.S. dollar isn't holding up very well. Let's just say that.
I completely agree. Can I tell you this?
So it's basically like, let's see if we could break their bank before we break ours.
No, we're just trying to change the tides.
I don't know.
Russia could win that war in mash of one button, but they know that's basically committing suicide.
Yeah, well, then the whole world, if one button's pressed, then all the other buttons get pressed, and the entire civilization is destroyed, probably.
They already talked about it. General Petraeus already wrote a paper about it.
Well, we would have 9 times out of 10. We would have the most likely of surviving because of the satellites in space. That would hopefully destroy them outside.
General Petraeus wrote a letter to let Vladimir Putin know. Not a letter, he wrote a paper and pontificated about what might happen if Putin were to use a nuclear weapon in Ukraine. General Petraeus was a 4-star general who got caught banging his secretary and ended up resigning in disgrace. Because of this,
we're too close to them.
Well, he's a brilliant man, and because of this, they will still publish his letters. They don't care that he was banging his secretary. Nobody cares, right? He did have to resign, but they still publish his stuff. So he says, if they were to use a nuclear weapon, we would attack Russia. NATO would attack Russia with conventional weapons, not with nuclear weapons, with conventional weapons, and Russia would lose close to 40% of its military in the first 48 hours. And then they would most likely be a pause.
Because it would be attacked from all fronts.
Yes. We will not escalate. We will not push nuclear war farther. We won't do that. But
nobody wants to do that.
Well, that's what we told them was you'll lose half your military right away. Immediately. And then we'll negotiate, and then we'll see where you want to go from there, is what they said. So if he's prepared to lose half his military immediately, go for it. Here's the thing, though. Nukes aren't great. They're not great weapons. They destroy things, right? They're great for boom, but it messes everything up. It messes the land up. You want to take the land, right? You're trying not to ruin the land. You want it, right? You don't want it to be like Chernobyl for the next 50 years, where people can't go in it, people can't live there. You don't want that. You want
the radiation in the entire vicinity of it would destroy everything. Living, non-living, plant matter, like everything. So it would destroy a nuke would destroy everything, even harvest it would destroy.
It's just not, okay, put it this way. It's not
economically.
It's not that. It's not efficient. That. It's not efficient. It's not efficient at all.
Yeah, economically efficient.
No. It's not efficient at all. They're not good weapons. Like, that we can blow up the world, yes, but they're just not good fucking weapons. We have better rockets. We have more accurate shit. We have pinpoint shit. That's what our military has. We can pinpoint you and find you exactly and kill you with like a 95% a rate. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that. It's like bringing a big old fucking club to like a dollhouse. You know what I mean? It's unnecessary. And like a huge one, that like a fucking huge sledgehammer that you can barely carry. But as soon as you get it up and over it, it just slams through the whole fucking house, right? It's just not. And it doesn't do what you want it to do.
I also think a different way. Can you also hear me out on this?
Go ahead.
War generates economy. Right? Mm-hmm. So war is one of the most money-making things any government or country could do. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. What generates war? Money and oil. Mm-hmm. Well, you only get money and oil from certain places. The places that own it. right? Those places that own it do not give it to you for free.
Mm-hmm.
They give it to you on interest.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, war creates debt, but it also creates economy.
You mean money? You mean it creates money? It creates
Yes.
wealth? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a lot of people believe that they point to the military-industrial complex and they say, well, look at all this money they made, Raytheon, Boeing, things of this nature, and they say, clearly, these people started this war to make all this money, right? They probably
No, it's not those people. It's not those people. There's people that they own central banks. Do you know what the central banks are? The owners of the central banks.
Yeah.
There's the 6 families.
Hold on. So, what I was saying was, they, I don't remember what the fuck. What did I just say? What was I just talking about? Fuck. What the fuck was I talking about, dog? What are we talking about? These banks.
Okay, listen. It's the 6 families. They own the central
No, but
banks.
that's not what the fuck I was talking about.
Okay, it's the Morgans, the Aldridges, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. These guys own central banks that give money to governments on interest. Do you know in World War II that the Rockefeller Company owned oil that only sold oil that the German panzers, the only way their German panzers could actually operate was with a certain type of oil that an American company patented.
What about it?
So that American company, the Rockefellers,
there was 100 fucking companies that dealt with the Nazis.
but they own the oil and the patent. And the only way they were able to get that oil was they had to get it from an American company. So the United States funded both sides of World War II.
Yeah, I know. Everybody. Yeah.
And guess why?
What up?
Guess why? Because it would.
Why? What do you mean? Why? Homie, because of money. Because
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all companies did. Homie, Hugo Boss made the Nazi uniforms. Fanta was created for the Nazis. Orange
Correct.
Fanta. Yeah. How the fuck we get off on that shit?
Because we were talking to Ukraine and
we were talking about the economy and how the war builds the economy and
there
all
we
that.
go. That's what the fuck we were talking about. Okay, check this out. People like to think that, okay, these people start these wars. I don't see any evidence for that, right? Because unless you believe that Mr. Rothschild has Mr. Putin's ear, this war was started by Vladimir Putin. Now, I know about the history. I know I understand that it's very complicated, and I understand that the United States is antagonistic. But you could also say your wife's antagonistic. That's not an excuse to punch her in the fucking face, right? Which is what we've got here. And so you would think that that's what it is, but I don't see any evidence for that. I think that Americans tend to see a situation and ask themselves, and I include myself in this, we look at a situation and we say, how can I profit from that? And war is very easy to profit from.
Isn't that what I said?
No, I'm not saying, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm pointing something out that I think that it's inaccurate to believe that these people start wars. I don't believe that a lot of people believe that these rich elites start wars. I don't think they start wars. I think they certainly profit off them. But I don't think they start them. What do you think? Yes or no? Maybe so.
I don't think they want to start wars. I think you're correct on that, where they want to start wars. I think their greed ends up creating wars. I don't think they actually want to start it, but I think ego comes into play.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like, first of all, the only reason why this Ukraine war started was because Ukraine wanted to become part of the UN. And Russia didn't want them to become part of the UN, because if they became part of the UN, then the United States would be that much closer to the borders of Russia.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's why they did not want that to happen.
That's you have the right idea.
But then who's now funding Ukraine?
You don't.
The rest of the world.
I'm gonna clear some things up.
Okay.
Not to be like, oh, you're wrong.
No. If I'm wrong, I love the
organization wrong. You got the organization wrong. It's not the UN. Okay. They've been a member of the UN. Everybody's a member of the UN.
No.
Homie.
I don't think Ukraine was.
Homie.
I might be wrong.
Yes, you are on this one.
Okay.
And all states, if you are a state, you are a member of the UN. All of them. Pretty much. I believe even North Korea is a member of the UN. Okay. That's just de facto if you're part of the state. They are trying to join.
No.
Right now, hold on. I know about this shit. I actually really know about this shit. They are trying to join NATO and the EU at the current moment. They have applications in for both of them. They have
NATO is the North American Treaty Agreement.
Yeah.
NATO has nothing to do with this.
Excuse me? They don't have an application in for NATO? That's what you're telling me?
Not with the Europe.
Would you like me to pull the application up?
No, but that's North American Treaty Agreement.
Yes, and they have an application. No, it's Treaty Organization.
No, North American.
NATO Organization.
Yeah, North American.
Yes, NATO
Treaty Agreement.
Organization. Agreement doesn't begin with an O,
I'm gonna tap out. Fellas. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you look tired as fuck, my homie. Thank you for tapping in.
I'll see you tomorrow.
It's North Atlantic, for one thing. It's North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay.
NATO.
Yes, North Atlantic.
That's what NATO means.
North Atlantic, sir.
No.
Yes.
Look it up.
Sir, I don't have to.
Look it up, please, and thank you.
I got $50 on it right now.
I'm not going to bet you, but please and thank you, look it up.
Okay, here we go.
Please and thank you.
Can anybody...
if I'm wrong, I have no problem saying I'm wrong.
All right,
but
you're gonna
NATO
make me...
is North American.
Okay, but I'm not... hold on. I'm not going to keep, for one thing, I'm not... And how would it be North American? Turkey's in it. So...
Not NATO.
So I'm not going to keep proving myself, but I'm going to show you this time that you're wrong, but we're not going to keep doing this all night.
100%. 100%.
Because I know what I'm talking about, especially about geopolitics.
Okay,
so I'm not going to
100%.
spend all night fucking looking up shit that I know what it is.
100%. 100%.
Here we go. Let's pull this motherfucker up. Transatlantic Link. Here we go. What is NATO? Let's see. Let's find the actual acronym. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. Share this tab instead. You guys see that one?
No, I don't see nothing.
You don't see nothing? Let's see. It says I'm sharing? No? View tab StreamYard.com. Let me look. Oh, wait. I don't have it shared on the screen. Hold on. Bloop. Bloop. There you go. Let's see if we can zoom in over here. Where's the tab? It says it right there. If you look close, it says North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Right above the 31. NATO members. And then it says in...
I literally can't see nothing, but I do believe you.
Yeah, let me see if I can
believe
zoom
you.
in. No, I'm going to see if I can zoom in. I don't know if I can so everybody can see it. Because everybody can't get... I don't know if they can get that close to it. Let me look. Where is that motherfucker? Just looked it up. Where the fuck is the tab? Oh, it's in another I think I opened a second Google or something stupid. Yeah, I did. There it is. Let's see. Can I get in here? Or maybe I can take a snippet of it. Let's try that. Boom, boom. Let's see. 31 member countries. Get rid of that. Let's try to pull this up. Okay, let's share the screen. Let's see if I can pull. I'm gonna pull up a file real quick. I just took a snippet. Let's see if it pulls up this file. Let's see, video file, slides. Let's think a slide is a picture. I have no slides. Your computer. There we go. Upload file. Let's see. Let's see if we can see it better with this one. What the fuck is this?
I loved it. Hey, by the way, I love this. This is fun.
You're good. You're good. No, I like.
Even if I'm wrong, I'd like to be wrong.
You're good. I actually I enjoy talking to you, Doc. This I am enjoying this.
Thank you.
Fucking, what you call it? Arguing and shit. I grew up with the motherfucker that we used to fight and shit.
I'm not really arguing. We're just discussing.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like I grew up with this dude, homie. We got an apartment together whenever we were young, and we were little gangbangers, and we didn't know how to control ourselves. We used to beat each other up. We would fight, fucking scream at each other. We'd freak people out. They'd be like, "These fools are crazy."
Okay, I always just thought NATO meant North American Treaty Agreement.
No. Why would an O be an agreement? That didn't you send up any red flags?
Yeah, that actually does. You're right. There you go.
Yeah.
So what was that? What is that then? There is a North American Treaty Agreement, though, isn't there?
What the fuck is going on here? This is weird. Custom files. All files. Let's go to all files. I can't find anything right now. It's weird. I'm trying to pull it. There it is. That's weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's North American or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, man.
Organization. Okay, perfect. Okay. Anyways,
that
wasn't the main topic. That wasn't even the main topic, anyways.
No. The
main topic was Ukraine, right?
Okay, so you have it a little bit right. It's like I said, they were trying to join. Okay, this is what happened. I'll tell you. You guys want to know what the fuck happened to Ukraine?
Yes.
I'll let you know. Let's go back to Jesus. When did the fire happen? Hold on.
Wasn't it the UN, the United Nations?
No, we're gonna look up a fire in Odessa.
Okay.
We're gonna look up a fire in Odessa, Ukraine.
Perfect. This is the best way to do it. This is the best way to do it. I love it.
A bunch of Russians were burned alive inside a Ukrainian library.
Okay, can I tell you what we heard as Canadians?
Yeah, that's fine.
What we heard was Ukraine wanted to become part of some sort of organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Russia was not a part of.
Uh-huh.
And that the reason why it happened was Russia didn't want Ukraine to become a part of it, was because that would allow United States to be that much closer to Russian borders.
Yeah, and I'm gonna clarify that to the nth degree. I'm gonna expand on all of that what you just said, and I can turn what you just said, that sentence that you just said, into like an hour. I don't know if I have that long. I'm probably gonna go till around 2. I'll try to shoot for around 2. Let's shoot for that. So I'm gonna give you an explanation for all that.
Perfect.
Okay, so we can even go back to the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1989. In 1989, whenever the Berlin Wall fell, Ukraine was one of the breakaway provinces.
Yes.
Oblasts, actually, is what they would be called. It's not a province.
It used to be actually part of the Soviet Union.
Yes. So it was Hungary, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia.
Yes.
So all these countries broke off.
Yes.
Now, since that time, In
It was
2000,
It was the USSR, correct?
yes, in 2006, if I'm going to remember right, George Bush makes a comment about the country of Georgia joining NATO. And within 90 days, Putin annexed a part of Georgia, called South Ossetia, which was heavily influenced by Russians. This is his first little chunk of land, right? Not really the first. They've been taking it the entire time. Every time they get a chance, they've been taking it. And then whenever we talk about in the 2000s, in the early 2000s, this is whenever Chechnya, whenever the Chechnyan rebels fought their first war, they told the Russians to eat a dick. And then the Russians went in there under Yeltsin, and they lost. They lost the first Chechen war. And they had to go in a second time under Putin. This is one of the main things that deposed Yeltsin. Yeltsin drank a lot. And so he lost a war. You can't lose wars in Russia. It's not allowed. He lost a war to fucking Chechnya. How do you lose a war to Chechnya? These are Muslims, right? These are they consider them like Muslim mongrels, right?
Yeah.
That live in the mountains. How the fuck did we live? We're supposed to be a superpower. How did we lose this? So they get rid of Yeltsin. Drinks too much. They bring Putin in. So around 2006, if I remember right, is whenever they take back South Ossetia. After that, they kind of understood, that was in response to what George Bush said. We know that because if you look at the things that Vladimir Putin says, we know that George Bush says, hey, we're going to let Georgia into NATO. And Putin says, oh, really? How about I fucking invade Georgia? How about you're not going to do shit? Right? Because, and I'm going to tell you why. Because one of the rules of NATO is you can't have any border disputes. So, by definition, Georgia is now ineligible to be a member of NATO. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, that's in 2006. In 2014, here we go. Let's see. Put the fucking glasses on here. Read this real quick. In 2014, let's see what happened in Odessa, Ukraine. So they've updated it, and this is what they'll tell you. Russia strikes Ukraine, critical port facilities. But let's go back to the 2014 Odessa.
So I think the mistake I made was that I said the war started because Ukraine wanted to join UN when it meant NATO.
Yeah, that was the only real mistake.
That was my mistake.
That was the only real mistake. Everything else is not inaccurate. Yes. I can just add way more information. It was just the wrong.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2014, early 2014, this is from Wikipedia, there were clashes between rival groups of protesters in the Ukrainian city of Odessa. During the pro-Russian unrest that followed the Ukrainian Revolution, the street clashes were between pro-unity and pro-European protesters. So these are pro-unity, they want to go back and with Russia, pro-European, two sides, right? Protesters as well as football fans, so some hooligans, and anti-government types. Pro-Russian protesters. Violence erupted on the 2nd of May when a United Ukraine rally was attacked by pro-Russian separatists. Stones, petrol bombs, and gunfire were exchanged. 2 pro-Ukrainian activists and 4 pro-Russia activists were shot dead in the clashes. The pro-Ukraine protesters then moved to dismantle a pro-Russian protest camp in Kuliakov Pole. I can't really pronounce that. Causing some pro-Russian activists to barricade themselves in the trade union house. Shots were fired by both sides, and the pro-Ukraine protesters attempted to storm the building, which caught fire as the two groups threw petrol bombs at each other. After this, now I'm going to tell you what happened after that. Let's see. The clashes resulted in the deaths of 48 people, 46 of whom were anti-Maidan pro-Russian activists. 42 of the victims died in the trade union house fire, and 200 were injured. The events were the bloodiest civil conflict in the region. We have pictures of this, and we know that the Ukrainians stood outside and kept the doors locked and wouldn't let people out while people burned alive. We watched people jump off the roof of the building, jump out of the windows, trying not to burn alive, while there was protesters outside keeping them. The protesters would have attacked them if they did come outside. This was a propaganda victory for Putin right here. This gave him all the fuel and ammo that he needed to do whatever the fuck he wanted, right? And Obama was a fucking weenie as on the world stage. Putin knew he wouldn't do anything, and in 2014, if I remember right, when did they annex? Hold on, I don't want to tell you the wrong date. Let's find out whenever they annexed Crimea.
Okay, while you're doing that, I just want to ask: are you? What do you think about Trump? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, because there's nothing else. That's the only reason why. I don't support most of the shit he says. I don't support any of the shit he says. He says ridiculous things. But
do you respect the things he does?
Oh, of course. He's incredibly effective. He's easily the most effective president since Richard Nixon.
Can I tell you this? As Canadians,
yeah,
we want Trump back as well.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody's over this shit. Oh, it is 2014. I was right. This is so that happens in 2014. I just told you about that fire.
Yeah.
They annexed Crimea in 2014. They said, "Yeah, homie, fuck you. We're gonna go ahead and take your land then." And this is whenever they started taking Ukraine back. Whenever Russia started taking Ukraine back. So what they did, No, this is when they did. So what they did was they did it effectively Obama didn't do shit. I'm telling you, Obama was a fucking weenie. He just looked really good.
I believe you. He was a puppet.
He's really good at speaking. But
yes, he is.
He had no foreign policy whatsoever. He would send Tony Blinken to do everything. So in 2014, a bunch of little green men looked like army soldiers with no insignias on them or anything like that showed up in Crimea. They just on the street, you just looked over and you're like, what the fuck? And there's just some dude over there and with a gun. He's not causing no problems or nothing, just sitting there. Just out of nowhere, there's just people, little dudes in army fatigues everywhere, but nobody's got any flags on them. Nobody's got name tags. Nobody's got nothing, right? And this is how they literally just spread out through the country and took it and just said, yeah, this is ours now. Okay? So there was nothing done about that. Sanctions. They just keep ratcheting up sanctions, but they weren't bad sanctions. I'm not going to lie. We're the reason that Russia is a decade behind in technology, right? So think about how bad computers were 10 years ago or phones were 10 years ago. That's the best thing they got going, right? So this happens, right? Now, here's where it gets super fucking interesting. You talked about the land, right? You talked about Russia wanting to shore up its exposed flank, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Now, that is based upon something called the Heartland Theory. Mackinder's Heartland Theory. And I've tried to explain it a couple times. I'm not that good at it, so we're going to watch a video. I'm going to pull it up right now. And
Beautiful.
I already used some copyrighted material. This fucking video started with other people's music. So I couldn't monetize this if I wanted to. But we're now going to go to Alfred Mackinder. Alfred Mackinder's Heartland Theory. Alfred Mackinder was a British geographer and strategist, and he was a brilliant man. And the British government hired him to create a plan to take over the world. Literally. This was the most brilliant man they could find in warfare. One of the most brilliant minds they could find. And they paid him a bunch of money to theorize about how to take over the world. And this is where he came up with Mackinder's Heartland Theory. So we're going to watch this. This theory moves...
By the way, I just want you to know, I love this shit. Like, I love learning.
Let's do it, homie. I'm fucking... yeah. I love this shit, homie. This shit is... This explains why the world does what it does. And you're going to understand what Hitler was doing. It shows you. They're like, wait, Hitler wasn't out of his mind. He believed in the Heartland Theory. That's all. So it's
I think that's a touchy subject,
well,
the whole Hitler thing. I personally don't think Hitler was out of his mind either. I just think that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of touchy shit. It is what it is.
I don't think Hitler was out of his mind. I just think what he did...
Oh, of course.
What he
did was
horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Human beings are horrible.
Yeah, like how he treated Jews and shit like that. It's terrible.
I mean, is it better to go hack up the fucking the black dude down the street because you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't matter. It's
exactly.
It's a person.
Exactly.
But they've ascribed some sort of specific evil to them because there's racism behind them. Like somehow it makes it worse if there's racism behind it. It's like the fucking the Rwandans.
I want to ask a question.
Hacked each other to death with machetes, dog. It's not any less brutal.
Well, I'm curious about this. So this is just a question.
Mm-hmm.
They say Hitler was racist. Okay, yeah, clearly he had racist tendencies, correct, right? But he also, Jews were white.
That's a weird subject too. There's different kinds of
right, like so he killed a lot of them as well, right? Well, majority of them were Jew and majority of them were white.
There's different kinds of Jews. That actually gets into a whole nother box of fucking worms.
I know, which is insane. I'm never ever saying what he did was any close to right, but I'm saying
no. I'm talking about the different types of Jews. You're talking. There's actually different types of Jews.
Yes, like I understand that.
Sephardic Jews, and Ashkenazi Jews, and there's East Asian.
But
Jews.
He was killing Jews that were fucking German white. That were literally
some are white, some are
barber.
Some are Russian.
His barber could have been Jewish, and he would kill.
So here we go. So now we're gonna shoot over to Mackinder's Heartland Theory, and so, like I said, just remember, this is.
Hey, pause it for 1 second. I'm grabbing a quick beer.
Yeah. This is a guy who was hired to tell the British government how to take over the world. That's what this is.
I'm back.
Here we go.
Refers to take over the world.
What's going on?
And in order for us to be able to take over the world, we'll have to understand the Heartland Theory. This video is going to be going over everything you need to know about that theory and world domination.
Let's figure out what the Heartland Theory is.
Let's get rid of that music real quick. We can't be doing that. Let's see. Just in case it's something that gets you shit took down. I know the shit I used earlier was my homeboy's music. And I know my shit won't get taken down.
The Heartland Theory by Halford Mackinder. Now this video is going to be looking at how this Heartland Theory has been used in history. We'll be looking at examples of it, both current day and also in the past, and how this theory connects to kind of taking over the world. While watching the video, make sure to use your guided notes. You can find them in the description below. The guided notes go along with the video and it'll help you make sure you understand all the main concepts. Who rules East Europe commands the Heartland. Who rules the Heartland commands the world island. And who rules the world island commands the world. Halford Mackinder. We're going to be looking at this quote from Mackinder and how it connects into his theory and how all of this connects to actually taking over the world. Let's start though from the beginning. So the Heartland theory was created in...
Yeah.
Okay, so it said the world, it said Europe, right? And then it said the world heartland.
Mm-hmm.
Where is considered the world heartland? Just to clarify.
He's going to explain that. He's going to explain all that. I will answer that question. The heartland is the area that would be consistent of Poland, certain parts of Russia, Germany,
Turkey,
all in that area.
Okay.
That area, and you'll see why. You'll see why.
Okay.
1904 by Halford J. Mackinder. And this theory looks at geography, history, and it connects to land-based powers and sea-based powers. These are the two different types, essentially, of military powers that the theory is looking at. And this theory has been used by many people throughout history, Hitler being one of them. And we're going to get into how Hitler used this theory later on in the video. But it is very important to understand the significance of this theory. It's dictated not only the past for geopolitical struggles, but also the current day. Some believe that Mackinder was a geographic determinist. He viewed society as being influenced by their geography. He looked both at the past and the current day to see exactly how society has been shaped by the terrain and their geographic features that they have. Now, he also, though, acknowledged the role of technology. So he didn't completely discredit humans and also their ability to adapt. Technology and the geographic things were the big focus, though, of his theory. He believed those were the two factors that would determine what would happen to a geographic area.
To this day, geography is one of the most determining factors of any war. There is parts of Afghanistan that are almost inaccessible if you don't have certain technologies. Basically, if you don't have
resources.
If you don't have a helicopter, not every country in the world has access to military helicopters.
Exactly.
And not all of them can. They may have them in their country. That doesn't mean they can move them across the globe. So to attack certain parts of Afghanistan in the Panjshir Valley, you have to transport a military helicopter, an attack helicopter across the planet, and then fly people in to the Panjshir Valley and hope that they're not shot down on the way in.
Well, that's kind of like Marcus Luttrell's story.
What is that?
Have you ever watched Lone Survivor?
Didn't that dude get caught for lying or some shit? Wasn't that dude lying?
No, Marcus Luttrell never lied. He's actually a real fucking...
Chris. What was that dude's name? Chris Carroll?
No. One
of them was lying. One of them was lying.
You're thinking of American Sniper.
He said he had a bunch of kills or some shit, and that was all.
Yeah, no, that's American Sniper. I'm talking about Lone Survivor with Marcus Luttrell.
Oh no.
No. That's when he actually he got surrounded by the entire Iraqi and fucking Taliban, and then he ended up getting saved by a villager, and then the U.S. came and saved him, and he ended up taking the guy that saved him. He ended up taking him to United States and giving him a green card.
That's tight.
And he goes, I can't even speak English to him. He goes, we don't even talk. But because this man saved my life, he goes, I know when he's mad at me by the way he looks at me. But he took him because his entire family got killed because he saved him.
Yeah, I believe it. They do get down like that over there.
Yeah, they killed his entire family, his brothers, sisters, and children, wife, everybody. And Marcus Luttrell went and got him and took him to United States and saved him.
Nice. All right.
So Look him up.
Well, not
Marcus
right now.
Luttrell.
We're gonna get back to this right now.
Okay.
geography is incredibly important, right? The ability to, we saw Russia lose a $13 million Pantsir anti-aircraft system, which is a mobile anti-aircraft system. It's basically a huge truck that has a radar that can locate enemy targets, launch the missile, the whole 9 yards, right? Very expensive. They lost it in the mud. $13 million weapon had to be abandoned because of mud. That's how important geography is, right?
Oh no, absolutely.
Time of year, things of this nature, all that shit matters, right?
I didn't want to change topics, but in World War II, right? Russia could have been taken over if Hitler didn't have so much of a dick hard to take over Stalingrad. They could have just went for Moscow, taken over the parliament, and ended up owning all of, like they did to every other country. But because Hitler wanted to make a statement and take over Stalingrad, they lost over, I think it was 2.4 million soldiers just in the travel. Because
we can discuss that another time. Whether Hitler would have won the war, I don't know.
I'm not trying. I never said won the war.
I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but we're gonna stick on this, dog, because I got a half hour left and I gotta get to bed.
Okay.
Right? Because I gotta work in the morning. So we're gonna get through this theory. We're gonna focus on this because this is gonna help you understand why what is happening now. You will have a clearer view of Vladimir Putin's intentions. You will understand, and whenever you couple this idea with what we know about the Russian economy and the Russian demographics, the intentions of this man become incredibly clear. And you understand he's not a monster. This is a human being who's acting completely rationally.
I don't think he's a monster.
Okay.
Analyzing the terrain, Mackinder noticed a couple different things. One, if the land was open, without a lot of vegetation or obstacles, if it was low land, it made it easy for other states to come in and conquer the states occupying that territory. Because of this, these geographic areas normally were dominated by one state, and that state had conquered other people that now they're in charge of. So a state had very easy time taking over the area. However, if there was obstacles in the terrain, like mountains or a forest that made it difficult for a state to get through, that normally acted as a barrier and separated two different states. Mackinder did note, though, that with technology, these barriers may be able to be overcome, and eventually a state could go through. But those barriers would make it more difficult. So areas that were open were easy to take over and were normally ruled by one party. And when we saw barriers, particularly mountains or different things that made it difficult for an enemy to go through, we saw it then split between two different states. And this becomes really important for us to understand when looking at the heartland theory, because these natural barriers or lack of natural barriers will define a variety of parts of the theory. One of the interesting things about Mackinder and his heartland theory is he continued to change it over time. Originally proposed in 1904 in a lecture, The Geographic Pivot of History, Mackinder first introduced the world to this theory and concept of world domination. Now, over time, though, things changed in the real world, and Mackinder changed his theory with it. So in 1919, he published a book, The Democratic Ideals of Reality. And here, really what we started to see is this heartland that I keep talking about change. And then again, he changed his theory in 1943 in an article that he penned on the round world and the winning of peace. In all these different versions, really what he did is kind of redefine this heartland area. Another thing that Mackinder noticed is due to colonialism and imperialism, the world was kind of discovered. And with this became a new connected world. Now, one of the things that he noticed was there was relationships happening. What happened in the UK impacted all their different colonies, impacted other parts of the world. There is a relationship now between the two countries and between different regions. And at the same time, he also noticed that what happened in, let's say, India also impacted the UK. It went both ways. Before, people thought it was more of a one-way streak. Here, though, Mackinder noticed that it went back and forth. If there was conflict within India or in some of the colonies, well, that impacted the British. And not just the British, but all the different countries in the world. It is a back and forth relationship. And this created a new, different type of governing. We have to now focus not just on the regional scale, but politicians have to be aware of different events around the world and how that might impact their country at home and abroad. And that is where this theory starts to take shape. Mackinder broke this theory into two main parts, the world island and the outer island. The world island was made up of Africa, Europe, and Asia. And the outer islands was made up of the Americas, the British Isles, and Australasia. Now, if anyone were to control the world island, if any one country, state, or alliance, well, they would be able to control the world. And that's because they'd be able to outproduce any of the other countries, both with population, but also weapons and resources. And so it is imperative that the world island remained in check. Now, let's actually zoom in a little bit on the world island and break this down even further. When looking at the world island, we can also see that this can be broken into two parts as well, the heartland and the rimland. Now, originally the heartland was known as the pivot point, and the rimland was known as the inner crescent. Now, these changed as Mackinder continued to evolve his theory. Now, both of these are crucial to understanding how to take over the world island. Now, the rimland consists of Arabia, Western Europe, East Asia, and India. When looking at the heartland, we can see a couple different characteristics that really define the region. The first thing we can notice is there is no access to the sea or the oceans, so it's landlocked. This actually helps protect them. And we're actually going to come back to this in a little bit. The next feature we can see is that it has kind of an arid climate. This forces the people there to be nomadic. And the heartland is also, for the most part, pretty flat, which lets transportation and travel happen relatively easily. This promotes a more nomadic lifestyle and actually gives the advantage, especially when we're looking in the past with history and when we're talking about things like the Mongol Empire. They were able to control most of the heartland because of horses, and they were constantly on the move, conquering other territories. Remember in the beginning of this video when we talked...
Think about that. That's what they were known for.
Oh, Yo, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead, brother. Let's stop for a second. Go ahead.
No, my question was, can I give you my email so you can send me this link? Because me hearing this once doesn't do me any justice.
No. I've watched this about 9 times.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'd like to watch this more than once.
I've...
Do you get what I'm saying?
I've
hearing
watched,
this once.
Yeah. I watched.
I'm taking it in, but still, I'm not taking everything in because I can't.
Boom, Marcus Luttrell. It's 12.
Okay, so yeah, you see what he says? I saw what he said. It would be heartbreaking to him, but that's a controversy.
Which is heartbreaking.
I don't believe it.
I don't know.
Man, the guy's a Navy SEAL. He's a proven Navy SEAL. They made a fucking movie about him.
It's hard to hide bodies, dude. People think that people talk about shit like that. Oh yeah, do this, you do that. A lot of motherfuckers full of shit.
Anyways, so in the how do I do a side chat like?
I think you could put it in the private thing,
Yeah, so I can give you my email. So I would like you
I
to
can just put it in the chat. Can you access the chat?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
But then how do I? If I click that, will that make me leave?
Yeah, it'll take you out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You can put your email. I'll send it to you in the email. That's fine. Or IG. You can hit me on IG.
I don't have IG. I don't have Instagram.
All right. Let's see, action. Oh wait. Bam. I think that dude helped save Marcus. Marcus' story was wrong. Damn, just my luck. Breaker goes out hard to do. What's this? Muhammad, Gula, Marcus Trail, Davis Hill, Operation Red Wings, Hamburger Hill. I remember Hamburger Hill. That's a good movie. Hamburger Hill is a good movie. My dad used to like that movie. My dad really liked that movie.
Of course, the book is different. Every book is different. Like, so every book is different from the movie, obviously. I actually listened to Mark Luttrell himself.
Book existed before the movie, you said. So the Mongol hordes, you know, like they're talking about, they were able to move unimpeded, right, on these horses through this whole stretch of land that you see on the screen there. That is marked out in red, and there is functionally nothing there that a horse can't cross, right? It's basically flat land, hills and shit like that, so you can take a horse all the way across that, but they were never really able to conquer much. As soon as they ran into some mountains, they couldn't take their horses over, right? So fuck that. Why would you? You just turn around and go back the other way, right? And that's what the hordes did. They went back and forth. They would sweep back and forth because you can't really get out. You just run a streak one way, turn around, run a streak the other way. And they went all the way out to China, and they were extorting China. That's what the Great Wall of China is built for.
Yeah.
Is to keep the Mongols out, right?
And it seemed like the entire fight was over protection and resources. Because the majority of the resources were in that vicinity.
Well, I mean, there's resources everywhere. I don't.
Yeah,
what
but
do you,
like
what do you
majority
mean by
of it.
What do you mean by resources? What resources? What are you talking about?
The resources that they needed at that time.
What, animals and shit?
No, yeah, well, that was a big part of it. Also,
I mean, that's the biggest thing right then, right?
Yes.
Food and water, right? Food, water,
wild.
timber. I mean, they didn't have oil.
No, oil was not even involved then.
Yeah, a gold. I mean, they
but also protection, like borders.
Well, the Mongols demanded tribute in gold, homie. They like gold, just like everybody else. They extorted a lot of gold from people, gold and weapons and shit like that. So let's get back to this heartland theory real quick. Boom.
Talked about geographic features, how normally one state will end up being controlling of an area when it's completely flat and open, and they'll conquer the other states that were, at least before they got there, living there. And that's because it's easy to take over. And this is really important when understanding the heartland, because this defines the heartland. Now, when looking at the rimland, this is characterized by the sea. We can see that actually they can move any of the empires within the rimland relatively easy with the ocean. And with a navy, they can have a superior advantage over the heartland. They can flank an attack from behind, and they can, relatively easily at least, spread their empires with not a lot of risk. This is a huge advantage, as they can collect more resources and maybe can get the upper hand over the heartland region. Now, as time went on, industrialization came to the world, and rail came. And now this is really important, especially for this heartland region, because as more and more train tracks were laid, this gave actually the advantage to the heartland, as the heartland starts to become connected through rail. Trains actually had a couple different things that made them superior to ships.
The heart of the Russian military is based upon the ability to transport goods by a massive rail system that they have built throughout their country. Can
I ask you a question?
Yes, they believed that this was. They're looking at this theory. Remember, they did all this in like the night. Well, they did all this in the night. The Russians built their train system in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. This came out in 1904, and this theory is telling you if you want to take over the world, you need to be in the heartland, which, as you can see, consists of Russia, and you need to build a large trail or rail system throughout to transport goods to the perimeter so you can continue to expand the perimeter in every direction. That's what the theory tells them to do, and this is exactly
and what are goods actually called?
What?
Resources.
That's what you had to say?
No. what was the first two words that came out of this guy's mouth after I talked? Protection and resources.
Okay.
So no, I don't. No, I never. Yeah, I'm not saying you're right or I'm wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm
resources,
catching
yes.
on.
Yes, people fight over resources. This is true.
And protection. That's why they were so close away from the water.
Yes, countries like to protect themselves. That's true.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now you're being condescending.
I'm fucking with you. I was being condescending. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I was being sarcastic. More sarcastic, but yeah.
Trains do not have to go into a port like the ships do for repairs. Trains can go very quickly over a geographic area and deliver troops, resources to certain points. The other thing that started to happen was airplanes eventually were created. This let the Heartland, if they wanted to, attack ships without the ships being able to actually attack the Heartland. And so the Heartland was now becoming more and more connected, which allowed them to have movement again to all of the different geographic focal points that maybe might come up in a battle. And this then lets them mobilize very quickly, giving an advantage to the Heartland over the Rimland. Now we're going to start getting into this theory more and more and start seeing how it's been used. When industrialization was happening, well, the Russian Empire was the ones who were really starting to take over the Heartland. And with rail, they were able to continue their expansion. The Russian Empire looked like it was going to take over all of the Heartland. And when it had all of the Heartland, it would be able then to command the world island. Through commanding the world island, they could start to build up their naval forces, and they would be able to make more and more advances into the Rimland and eventually get into those outer islands. However, unfortunately for the Russian Empire, it didn't work out. They collapsed. And in 1919, Mackinder went back and reevaluated his Heartland theory. One of the things he noticed is that the Heartland was actually protected with a bunch of different geographic boundaries, both on the south and also on the east. However, the western part of the Heartland was exposed. It didn't have any deserts like other parts of the Heartland or mountains. In fact, the western part was open. And this is where Eastern Europe comes to play. You see, so far we've been looking at the part of the quote that talks about who rules the Heartland commands the world island. However, now Mackinder realizes it's not just that. It's whoever rules Eastern Europe commands the Heartland. See, Eastern Europe had the ability to be able to move into the Heartland with relative ease. And Germany, Mackinder believed, was at the focal point. They were at a prime location to be able to invade the Heartland. Hitler actually will later use this theory to try and take out the Soviet Union. This is why Hitler uses his Panzer Division and pushes into the Soviet Union, because he was actually trying to take over the Heartland, which he believed would have given him the win in World War.
What happened? Did you get triggered because you heard Hitler too many times?
No, I was excited. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I don't know. I just heard you yell from the other room. I thought you were telling me to stop it.
No, I just said,
Oh, okay. I thought you were just telling.
No, I didn't. No.
All right, no worries.
War II. Mackinder also believed that China could become a big player in the Heartland as well, and they could even become the ruler of it. This would be a big deal because China is located both in the Rimland and the northern part of China is in the Heartland. The geographic boundaries in the Heartland would give them an advantage there, and the ports in the Rimland portion of China would allow them to maneuver around the world. They would be able to do a variety of strategic attacks on other countries, which would help them in the war. However, China would have to develop a lot more and gain more economic and military power in order to do this. And to this day, China hasn't been able to do so. However, there's been some concern recently with China in the South China Sea and also with their new trade initiative where they are now starting to create infrastructure throughout the Heartland. Mackinder created this theory not as a prophecy, but a warning to the world. He believed that countries needed to be able to pay attention to the world and act accordingly. That no one can sit in full isolation and just allow countries to do what they please, because each country affects other countries. Mackinder believed that the Rimland powers needed to be vigilant. They needed to make sure that the Middle East remained out of the control of the heartland, and that the coastal areas around the world island remained free for the Rimland powers to use their navy to transport around the world. Otherwise, the Rimland would lose their mobility advantage, and the heartland would be able to take over the world island. And if you controlled the world island, well, you can control the world, because you'll be able to outproduce all of the other islands. And so it is imperative again for these Rimland powers to be vigilant. That's also why we see more conflicts in the world in the Middle East, from the Iraq wars to Afghanistan, where we also see the South China Sea as a major contention point, the Persian Gulf, the Korean War. All these areas are in key spots for the Rimland powers to make sure that the heartland never gets control of. We can look throughout history and connect it back to a variety of historical events. All of these things connect back.
That's super interesting. Holy fuck. We can't hear you.
For every action, you know, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So do you understand what he's getting at right now?
100%.
What's he talking about?
So basically what he's talking about is that certain area, correct? Owning that certain area gives you access to every single place in the entire world. Not just that, every single resource in the entire world. And you basically control everything that everyone needs in the entire world.
Okay. I'm going to run this back for just a second. And then, okay, actually, no, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about first.
Okay. That was just
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to point something out, what he's talking about. And this will tell you, you kind of got like an idea of what I mean whenever I said that you'd understand Putin's ambitions, right? A little bit. It helps you understand him a little bit, right?
Oh, 100%. No, I understand now.
Okay, so that's the first. Yeah, kind of, right? It kind of makes sense a little bit. Like, okay, he was, you know what I mean? He was following this roadmap, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
correct.
Now we have to understand he's talking about the world, or the the heartland.
The heartland, the heartland.
No, and the Rimland. And what Alfred Mackinder said was that Rimland powers need to stop the heartland from taking over the seas around the world island and parts of the Rimland. Have you noticed that the United States likes to make sure that no one can actually run all that over there? We keep it broken up. We keep that pot mixed up, right? This is us.
Yeah.
This is us. We are the other power that he's discussing.
There's a reason why they have the biggest navy in the world.
Who?
United States. Well, I'm Canadian, right? So I would say you guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just making sure what you were getting at. I wasn't sure what you were getting at. China technically has the most boats, but they're kind of garbage.
Yeah, but they're not nowhere to come close to your guys. Mm-hmm. No, you guys have the. We're like your little brother. We're like Canada's like United States' little brother.
It goes by raw tonnage in the water, and we have raw tonnage in the water.
Yes.
By a multiple, but
like it's astronomically different.
What I'm saying is that if we look at this from grand strategy, from geostrategy, we understand that Russia
is trying to take over the heartland.
No, clearly has looked at this. This is what Hitler looked at and said, this fool knows what the fuck he's talking about. You're right. Stalin looked at this and said, yep, that's what we need to do. Right? So people believe that this is true. They look at it and they're like, this is a solid theory. We're going to push forward on this. We believe it too. The United States believes it too. This is saying that anybody who tries to get control of shit over there, we need to stop it. That's what the warning. That's what the warning is on the screen. It's telling the United States you have to stop it. Anybody who has, this is Mackinder's warning.
So everybody that thinks United States is the bully is actually not the bully. United States is the bully, anti-bully. They're the ones saying, they're the ones saying stop trying to be the bully because I know what you're trying to do.
Bully is
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
okay, bully might not be the right word.
Yeah, that's just.
But you get what I'm saying.
A simple idea. Bully is a simple idea, bro.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. They're trying to do something, and the United States is saying, no, we're not going to allow that. That's why we intervene. And then everybody else thinks that United States is this big bad bully because they always intervene. But no, what they're doing is actually being Captain Planet.
Bad and good don't exist, dog. Those are value judgments. You should get rid of those from your vocabulary. They don't mean anything.
I'm just using them as like.
What's good for you is bad for me. So the exact same thing that's good for you. Your underwear could be a size medium, and they could be good for you, and they're bad for me. So being good and bad don't mean anything. It's a value judgment. It's an idea that we place on something that we find favorable or disfavorable. It doesn't mean anything throughout time. So saying, well, this person's the bad one or this person's the good one.
Okay, I get what you're saying. To whom the consumer is.
No, I'm saying it because
I get what you mean.
It never gets anywhere in an argument because I can argue that I'm on the righteous side and then you can argue that you're on the righteous side. And because the righteous side doesn't have a technical definition, we never get anywhere. We just scream at each other, right? We both think we're right because right doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
Right? Or good. Correct. Good doesn't mean anything. So let's go. Let's check out. Let's wrap up Mackinder's Heartland theory. Looks like we got about 3 minutes left.
Back to this theory, and it's all this balancing act between trying to make sure that no one power can control the heartland. Even when we're looking at the Cold War and we look at Eastern Europe, notice how Eastern Europe is divided up into a bunch of different states. This makes it more difficult for one country or one state to fully control all of Eastern Europe. And again, if you control Eastern Europe, you can command the heartland. And if you command the heartland, you command the world island. And if you can command the world island, well, you can control the world. And this is Mackinder's theory. Now, there's one part of the world we really haven't talked about yet, and that's the Americas. And Mackinder didn't forget about the Americas. He viewed the Americas as an important check. In fact, the Midland Ocean, he believed, would pair with Western Europe. And this alliance between the two would help keep in check both Eastern Europe and also the heartland. And if any of these two groups started to gain power, and if it looked like someone would take over the heartland, well, then the Midland Ocean and also Western Europe would act, and they would stop it from occurring. This was the last kind of defense. And we can actually see this play out with NATO during the Cold War and after World War II, where Western Europe and the United States came together to promote capitalism and counter the Soviet Union. The United States adopted a containment policy to try and prevent the domino effect of all these countries turning communist and joining the Soviet Union. If that would have happened, well, the Soviet Union would have completely taken over the heartland. And then we would have possibly had a very different world today. NATO actually was able to help defeat and slow down the communist spread. The original goal of the alliance was to counter that spread of communism. That created eventually the Iron Curtain and this tension throughout all of Eastern Europe, which stopped the Soviets from completely taking it over. That also created the Shatter Belt region, as we saw these two external forces continue to battle over different areas throughout the world. This theory's held merit over time, and it has been a very big influence on a lot of politicians and military commanders throughout our history. Now, the Heartland theory isn't perfect. In fact, one of the things it kind of puts too much emphasis on is transportation. That's really key to this entire theory. If you haven't noticed by now, that's what makes or breaks a state. The Heartland has power because they can quickly mobilize within the Heartland to attack different parts of the Rimland. And the Rimland balances that power out through their navy, being able to outmaneuver the Heartland and to be able to flank from behind. Hopefully this video has helped you better understand the Heartland theory. It's really important to understand this theory, and you can connect it to so many different historical events and also the world today. The next video that I'm going to have is going to get into the Rimland theory. This actually builds off of the Heartland theory, so make sure you check out that video. You can click the card right now.
Another guy came along with another theory, the Rimland theory. And
I was gonna say that's just one theory, correct?
It's just a theory, but you can't deny that governments sure seem to care about it.
Absolutely not. No, and in history, it seems like everybody cares about it. Because it seems like it really seems like it's been a hard, like in that general area, I'd say about 70% of the battles have gone there, right?
Yeah, Europe. We blow Europe up. It's kind of
So
what
it's
Europe does. They blow each other up. They kill each other. That's what.
Exactly. But it doesn't mean it's right. But at the same time, I need to hear that like 6 more times.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that link right now.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna put it
because
behind.
like you know what I mean? Because I'm the type of person that likes to really.
Whenever you start understanding and the what you calls, you'll start the protagonist and the people that he is not necessarily talking about, but the people that he's describing start becoming clearer, and you start understanding what he means.
And then I bet they don't become the protagonists anymore.
Well, you start to understand what he's talking about.
Exactly. No,
you know
well,
what I mean? The more you listen to this stuff, the more you'll start to realize that's because I can listen to it and I know who he's talking about now, and then you'll start connecting it to different conflicts, right? You can start connecting it to different conflicts, and you understand. Well, see, because it's called the Volgograd Gap. What you described earlier, you said that Putin wants to
wars are being sustained.
No, you said he wants to take some land so that he can push NATO away from him, right? That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, correct. That's where it all started. So
what he's trying to do, this is technically what he's trying to do. You're right. You are right. But what he's trying to do is get his exposed flank down to what is called the Volgograd Gap, I believe, which is about, a 600-mile, 800-mile stretch of an area where the mountains funnel like this. The mountains funnel like this into a choke point that's like 800 miles long, right? So if he can take Ukraine, if he can push through Ukraine...
Sorry, I can't see you because you're in a little box.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you're like going like say like this, I can't see you.
Okay, no worries. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that. I forgot I was gonna put that link. So if he can take, just by taking what he's already taken, he's been able to gain access to the sea, which he didn't have before. He now has a Blue Water port. They have those ports up in the Arctic, but those aren't always helpful. And they have already reduced their exposed flank, but it is still very big. And the larger that your exposed flank is, it gets really, really, really hard to protect it, right? You'd rather have a bunch of mountains, geography, like we were talking about before, how important geography
100%,
is.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because you can't flank Russia from the back because that's the Arctic, right? And that's like
Correct.
Mongolia. You can't go through China. You're not going to go through China.
Consider subscribe.
You're not going to go through China and all that shit. So you've got to come at them from the front, and so all they have to do is protect the front. That's what they're trying to do. If they can successfully take Poland, they got. I don't see it happening. The world would probably blow up before they were able to take Poland. Let's be honest. But let's say theoretically they did take Poland, they'd have a serious defensible position. They could get their exposed flank down to some very small gaps, and that's what they're attempting to do right now. They were trying to gain access to the sea because Russia is dying. Demographically, Russia is dying. They'll pay you about $5,000 to have a kid in Russia right now. They recommend that people have 4 kids. That's what they'd like. That's what the government would like to see. They are running out of people, and then it turns out it's a really bad idea to send 500,000 people to war whenever you're running out of people.
Okay, but I want to ask you, don't you think the Western society is also running out?
It's not what I think. I follow Peter Zeihan, who is an expert in this shit. He's a YouTuber. You guys should check him out. 100%. He's an amazing man. He predicted the Ukrainian war about 2 years ago, whenever he had almost no subscribers. And then he predicted the Ukrainian war like 5 years ago, 2 years before the war started. And then I'm going to put his link in the chat too. Hold on. I'm going to put this in the thing back here. He's a YouTuber. I
was getting to a question.
Yeah. No. Give me just a second. He predicted the war, had a couple subscribers, was a cool dude, and then everybody realized, holy shit, this dude predicted the war to a T, and now he's got about 600,000-700,000 subscribers. He went crazy on YouTube. Smart man, incredibly fucking smart man, and he talks about demographics constantly. So we know what the demographics of the world look like. The United States is actually doing all right because it turns out it's a good idea to let a bunch of fucking immigrants and shit like that in because immigrants breed. You know what I mean?
I'm not talking about the immigrants or anything like that.
I'm talking about the world's demographics, the people in the world. China is in trouble. Many parts of Southeast Asia are in trouble. The Middle East is doing fine. They breed just fine.
I want to ask you this question. Say World War II happened right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who would win?
Between who?
With the state of our societies.
Who are you asking? Who goes to war?
I'm asking you.
Germany? Could we go? Germany? Germany is less powerful now than they were in World War II. Is that what you're saying? What are you saying?
No, I'm talking about the state of the Western society in men.
What, you talking about weenie-fied men? That's what you're talking about?
I'm talking about this entire fucking transgender...
That shit? The weird
all
shit?
that bullshit. Now, how many men do you think, if we got bombed, how many men do you think would actually sign up to fucking fight a war right now?
A lot.
Yeah, like it was at Pearl Harbor?
I don't know if we'd get as many as Pearl Harbor days, but whenever the country is attacked, you tend to get a big uptick. Yeah.
Yeah, but now we have little children and fucking societies of I'm a man. I mean, I'm a girl. I don't need to fight, or like I'm a he or I'm a they. I'm a bullshit fucking pronoun. Right?
I mean,
like, how many of them do we have? They, thems that we would have to fucking accommodate.
Well, here's the thing. Before all this weird stuff started happening, about 5 years ago, gay people in general.
I'm not talking about gay people.
Hold on, let me talk.
Okay, sorry.
So, the gay people in general, as in the LGBTQ spectrum, all of that represented less than 1% of the population, which meant about 1 in 100 people that you would meet would be gay. Okay, which meant there'd be a couple gay people in high school, stuff like that, right? Because there's 1,000 kids there. There's going to be a couple of them that are in the closet, a couple of them that aren't, right? And that's normal. You go to high school. There's a couple gay kids, right? There's usually a gay boy or two and a couple gay girls. That was normal. This has changed. We see an uptick now, right? You ask little kids, and you're going to say 20% of them say they're bisexual or something like that. But here's the thing. Putting something down on a piece of paper doesn't really mean anything. And telling my friends that I'm trans on social media, at school, things of this nature, for a while there, it actually gave people a form of social credit, right? It was whatever you want to call it, schwagged fucking, I don't know what they call it now, but you know what I mean. There was a benefit to it. There was a social benefit. That has passed. People are kind of over that. People are kind of over seeing men that look ridiculous in dresses. And people are over people causing problems about this shit. Because it turns out nobody fucking cares. They want you to, like, leave them alone. I don't care what you are. Right? That's how the vast majority of people don't fucking care if you want to be a weirdo. They want you to just leave them alone. Right? Now, because of that, this is my prediction. I believe that the social credit has gone away. The benefit of being trans has gone away because being trans is incredibly hard. Imagine being a boy and trying to be pretty if you're not pretty, because not a lot of them aren't pretty. This is going to be really hard. I think this is going to go away. I think we're going to normalize back to the numbers around 1% that we saw before.
Okay.
It's my theory. I don't know.
I just feel like we're losing masculinity in a lot of men. Like a lot of these guys, a lot of these children want to be YouTubers instead of fucking carpenters. Mm-hmm. Just that's an example.
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And we're losing the sight of being hard workers. Mm-hmm. Like men. Like no, you don't have to be a man. You like. I'm not saying a man can't work in an office, but I'm saying, it's hard to say, but without being like politically wrong, but it's like a lot of men don't know how to go to work anymore. Get up off their ass and go to fucking work.
Okay. Yeah, I believe you. I've got
and now you want to put these guys, you want to put a vest and a fucking gun in their hands?
Not particularly. I don't. Well, I mean, most of those people have mental health issues.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about the ones that claim I have anxiety. Forgot about them.
No, I'm talking about trans people. Like, there's a real argument there. Like,
yeah, but that's an add-on. What about the ones with, like you just said, mental fucking health now? Well, oh my God, I have anxiety. I can't go outside. I can't even go to school. I can't do this. Like, how much is there? When we actually went to war in fucking 1939. Bro, it was, I got off my ass and I fought, me not personally, correct, but they got off their fucking asses and they volunteered. Now, how many Americans and Canadians do you think would do that now? Half of them would go, let's bring a flag over there and protest.
That's the country we have. That's the price of freedom, sir.
I think it's a fucking sad thing. I think it's actually bad for us.
Not saying it's good. It's probably not good for society. Feminizing men, probably not. We've okay. Think about this, right? We moved out. Imagine the American dream, right? You're in Kansas or whatever, small town in Kansas, and you're like, fuck this, I want to get out of this town, right? Going to the big city. Well, this happened for 40 years, right? Kids grew up in Podunk, wherever, and then they moved to the cities. Got a nice job, whatever, right? Well, it turns out whenever you get to the city, kids are fucking annoying because you live in a small apartment. They become very expensive, and they're just kind of a hindrance in the city. In the country, they're free labor, right? You have a bunch of kids. You want to have a bunch of kids if you live out in the country. In a rural area, you want to have a bunch. You don't want to have 7 kids in Manhattan. You don't want to deal with that. It's really expensive, crazy expensive, right?
100%. And
so this happened, this played out for 50 years throughout the entire country, and we hollowed out all of the small towns. So now everybody lives in these huge fucking cities all over the country, and a lot of that rural shit is the masculinity that you're talking about. They're all here in the city, where the Democrats run everything. It's feminized. Right?
Okay.
He says the role of a man has changed.
Yeah, it has.
How's it changed? What changed it? What do you think?
They are kind of agreeing with me.
Yeah, I'm asking. I said, what do you think? What did it?
Well, what did it? You know what's sad? What did it was what they fucking fought for.
What do you mean?
Freedom. That's what fucking did it. What they fucking died for is what is ruining it. Is the freedom that these people think they fucking have to be and who whatever they fucking want.
I mean, don't you want that for people? Don't we want that for people? I think we want that for people, right? But
I never said I don't want that for people.
But not that way. Don't do it like that. You can have your freedom, but don't you do it like that. I don't like you wearing women's clothes.
Yeah. Well, freedom only goes so far, right? Fuck.
I have a problem with the fucking parents.
Well, I have a problem with it. Like, fuck.
That's my issue. The parents.
Like, it's hard. It's a very, like, I get it. It's like, what can we say? We gave it to them, correct? We gave everybody the freedom to do this, but now look how it's backfiring on us.
The Constitution.
Now, yo, when I sign my kid up on a fucking PlayStation game, it literally says what are their pronouns? And I can't. I said, you're not playing this fucking game. I couldn't believe it. On this game, I said, what? Are you fucking crazy?
Pissed you off?
Oh, I shut the fucking game off. I said, you're not playing that. I'd rather you play fucking Call of Duty or Fortnite.
I just put that I'm trans on everything. I usually put trans and Latino.
I just couldn't believe that was a fucking question on a video game for a child.
The thing is like, it doesn't mean nothing, though. It's dumb. I put trans on everything. I started putting Latino on everything demographic years ago.
Yes, dog. For you.
There's no, it doesn't do anything.
Because you're old enough to not be brainwashed, but they're young enough to be.
It doesn't do anything. It's just
it could.
It's a box that's there because somebody complained.
Okay, that's just a fucking example.
That's what it is, though. It's just there because these people complain too much.
I think it's ridiculous.
They're like, fine, we'll put it on the fucking thing, dude. We'll put a third gender on the thing. Leave us alone.
Yeah, but that just creates more.
Yeah, people are absurd. So yeah, always. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I couldn't believe it.
They said there was 51 genders in New York or some shit like that.
Oh my god. I couldn't believe. And hey, I'm from Canada where it's fucking, bro, oh my lord. First thing I did, you know what I did? I sent my kid to a fucking Catholic school to make sure that none of that fucking pride shit is involved in it.
I mean, do you think
I'm not homophobic.
Do you think your kid's susceptible to be turned gay if he goes to the wrong school?
I have a daughter.
Either way.
So I wouldn't mind if she was gay. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I don't think so, but it's the fact that I wouldn't want, put it this way, I'm not there 8 hours of the day like a teacher is, right? And a teacher can fill my child's head whatever the fuck they want for 8 hours a day that I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody filling my child's head filled with fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I can see that. I prefer that they stick to teaching.
Exactly. So in a Catholic school, they go by the religion.
Yeah. I feel you.
And let me teach my daughter what the fuck I want to teach my daughter. If I want to tell her she can be fucking gay, then that's up to me. That's my business.
They think you're stupid, though. They actually, that's actually, I hate to say this, but there's a, what was his name? Adam Smith. Remember Adam Smith, the guy who created like free market, not created, but the theory of free market economics, markets and shit, like free markets?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He actually wrote several papers about this. There's a certain, and I've had professors that ascribe to this too. There is a certain sect of intellectuals that believes, Hillary Clinton's one too, that believe that people are fucking stupid and they need to have decisions made for them. These are the people who, well, your country has them big time. The ones where they're police like the fucking soda, you know what I mean? What people drink, what people eat. This is a theory of
100%
of academia where they believe that they know better than everybody else and that they need to control people.
That's exactly why I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so fucking passionate, because I live in a fucking country that they think they can control us.
They do.
It's ridiculous. You guys are a lot more freer than we are.
Oh, yeah. We act up down here, dog. Motherfuckers don't realize how much, like, people will fight with the cops here for no reason. You would just get into, just fuck it. You know what I mean? They'll just...
Okay, well, I gotta say that could be a fucking pro and a con, though.
No,
like, that can be.
There's an idea in America that every single individual here is sovereign. And that whenever I walk outside, there's not a motherfucker on this planet who's more important than me.
Okay, I get that. But there's also getting yourself out of a ticket or out of arrested or not, or getting yourself arrested because you're ignorance.
Oh, yeah, I get all that. But I'm saying there's an underlying thought that Americans have in their mind, and this thought will become manifested when motherfuckers get drunk, or just a motherfucker who's like, fuck this cop, homie. You know what I mean? Fuck this dude. Why would this dude think he gets to fucking put his hands on me or whatever? And a lot of cops lose their life every year in this country.
And a lot of people also lose their lives because of that. And it all just comes to...
The homie got killed the other day, actually. The cops killed him about 3 days ago.
Well, my condolences.
Let's pull that up, actually. This is Little Timmy's homie. Everybody needs to send condolences to Little Timmy. This is actually one of the
My condolences.
From Little Timmy's hood, dog, and we'll end with this because I think I'm going to help the little homies do a little benefit so we can try to raise some money to bury this fool because his grandma ain't got no money, dog. She's on benefits from the government. And so it looks like we're going to throw a little fundraiser together to try to get to it. Looks like it's about $1,000 to cremate him. It's about $1,000 to cremate him. So that's coming soon. That's not yet. Grandma still got to get back to us. And we want to set up like a PayPal account for her so then it'll all just get transferred to that and everything. And we're going to try to do it as a city because there's a bunch of whatchamacalls here. But let's see. Shooting, Adams County. This has been a crazy year, dog. This year just keeps going.
Hey, this has been a good little chat, though, eh?
Oh, yeah.
We had a good one.
Here we go, right here. Okay. So it looks like they shot the homie, dog. They rolled up and shot the homie, dog. There's no two ways about it. Did he have a banger on him? It looks like it. And he shot the cop. But it looks like the cop shot first, from what I could tell. You guys let me know what you think. Here is this, and then we'll run this a couple times, and then we'll call it a day.
Breaking news this morning, one man killed and a deputy recovering this morning after a shooting overnight with police in Adams County.
It was a very serious situation. Let's get straight out to Fox 31. Jim Hooley live at that scene this morning where investigators are still working out there.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. They just wrapped up the work here on Leona Drive. This is just on the west side of I-25 off 81st here in Adams County. And deputies have left the scene here, wrapping up their work after being here all night long. The one deputy who was hit, we understand he was wounded, hit in one of his extremities. He's going to be okay. He's recovering right now. The suspect, as we said, is dead. Here's the latest on the investigation. Here's what we have happening up here right now. All this happened at about 10:15 last night. The deputies were trying to make contact with what they said was a wanted person at a home here on Leona Drive. It was a suspect they've been looking for some time, we understand.
They've been stalking this fool. He's been on the run for like a year from the halfway house. He took off from the halfway house like a year ago. And they've been stalking his grandma's house, especially for like the last week, 10 days. They've been harassing his grandma constantly.
And that's when the suspect came out of the house with a gun in his hand.
We had multiple deputies that were on scene. The person immediately came out and just presented themselves and had a firearm, which is still on scene as well, from what I was told. And the deputies engaged right away, and there was an exchange of gunfire.
Now, investigators say at this point, it's not clear who shot first, and they have not said what the suspect was wanted for. That's all.
Now, who do you think shot first? If it's not clear, if the cops say it's not clear who shot first, who do you think shot first?
I would presume the cops did.
I have a feeling. I think the homie shot to protect himself, right? Because that's what when you're getting shot, if you got a banger, you're going to pull it out, right? And whether it's the cops or not, right? You're going to try to protect yourself. I would.
I don't know. See, in Canada, that'd be totally different. That's the difference. You can't. You walk out with a gun in Canada, you're getting shot.
Well, here too, apparently.
Well. See, there you go. Right. So, like, but apparently, aren't the laws different there in America?
If he had been a law-abiding gun owner who just had his gun in his hand, and this happened, that would be a problem. But because he is who he is, and because he is considered a violent fugitive, because he is on the run from the halfway house and he was in the halfway house for a gun crime, they're
Yeah, but there's discrepancy, right? In all that. It's what happened, what didn't happen, what happened, right?
Yeah, well, they're saying they don't know who shot first.
Okay, well, in Canada, if you walked out with a fucking gun in your hand and you got shot, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So I can't actually say anything about that because you know what I mean? Like that, I wouldn't know. So that's nowhere for me to even speak about.
Yeah. I feel you. Gun 12 shot first. All right. All right, my friends. Well, we're going to call it a night. Like I said, stay tuned for the fundraiser. We're going to get little Timmy together. And I'm going to get a couple other channels. I'm going to try to get some channels together to push this situation. Because, I mean, that's the least we could do. And that's not that much. 1,000's not that much. I'm sure I'll throw some money in it, too, to get it started. That's not that much to get somebody buried. And that'd be a cool thing that we could do for this old woman. Because the fucking cops have been harassing this old woman's house for weeks. And she's like a soldier. She keeps going out there and making the cops leave. And telling them, you can't come in my house. This old woman is having to tell the cops, no, you're not coming in here. No one's here. Leave. And they keep coming back and saying, what did they say? They said, we got a noise complaint. Oh, we heard there's a domestic violence going on. Somebody heard domestic violence. They said they came back another time. Oh, we heard somebody was being held hostage in here. Just a bunch of dumb shit. They just keep harassing this woman's house. And then they finally, I guess, they pulled up and decided to shoot this fool. Or maybe they seen him and pulled up and then he had a gun. I have a feeling they were undercovers. My understanding is these were undercovers. These weren't marked cars. So who knows who he thought jumped out the car with the fucking gun. Right? They always say they identified themselves. They always say they do. And if they're undercover, tell me this. If they're undercover, is there body cam footage? I don't know.
There should be, should there?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that at all. Never been in that situation. I don't know. So.
Well, aren't they always supposed to have their body cam on the second they arrive to the scene?
Undercover. Plain clothes. Look like me.
Oh, undercover. Oh, okay. There you go.
People look like me. Unmarked cars. Normal cars.
And they won't have body cam.
Don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But anybody, thank you, my friends, for showing up. We're 2.5 hours. Thank you for jumping on, brother. Fuck yeah, anytime, dog. This was a good one. We stayed on topic. We covered a bunch of shit. We got a good tutorial in. That was dope, dog. That's a high-level tutorial right there. That's like that's at least a 300 level, dog. That's at least a third-year fucking college class right there. That's that's a third-year what would it call, geostrategy class type shit, geopolitics type fucking shit. So that's some good shit right there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Later, my friends. Bam, that was a great laugh. Thank you, Jay Millie. I appreciate you, my homie. Appreciate all you guys, man. Shout out. Later.